I set up the schedule for the S12, right? We want to keep everything on track, keep you busy throughout the day. It's going to be tough. It's meant for you to be tired and feel like shit by the end of the day. It's good for you. I promise you. You'll benefit from it. You're pushing through certain things. You're being more mentally aware because you realize, hey, I'm tired, but I still got to do this. So you got to really lock in. It's forcing you to do this, pushing your envelope, so to speak. Right? It's good for you. I promise you. It helps you meet your potential. Right? It's good to put yourself through struggles. It's good to face vulnerabilities. It's good to see what your limitations are. If you don't do that every so often and make yourself tired, do something that you're not good at, put yourself on the spot, face the vulnerabilities, eat some humble pie, then you're not living. You're not. You're staying safe, you're staying in a bubble, and whether you know it or not, eventually you're gonna have resentment in your life. I'm not trying to be all philosophical, but just telling you. Just telling you it's good to suck sometimes. All right, so we're gonna do some jumping jacks again, get warmed up, and then we're gonna slow it down a little bit today. All right, a little bit different. More dynamic stretches, more to open up your hips. You'll see what I mean once we get into it. And then before we're done for the day, we're still gonna go over what we went over yesterday as far as getting up off the ground. We're gonna add a little bit to it, simulating using your old pointy finger gun to get you ready for what you're gonna be doing down at the med station today. But it'll still be focused on mobility. Just give you a little bit of muzzle awareness, presence of mind while you're doing it. Make sense? All right, so jumping jacks. We're gonna do 40 of them again. Vic was the only one that wasn't on rhythm last time, so y'all did real good. So we're gonna start with our hands at our side and our count. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 3, 33, 34, 35, 37, 39, 40. All right, so check it out. You got room in front of you? We'll do the little caterpillar here. You're gonna start here, you're gonna go down, hands, walk all the way out here, walk all the way back up.
Bend your knees if you can't do that, so you don't smash your hamstrings like a few guys did yesterday.
Let's do 6 of those, okay, on your own.
Oh, hey, welcome, John.
Walking out.
Touching it, bud.
You don't have to do a push-up at the end if you don't want to.
Yeah, you do. Pussies. Do 2.
How come you're not doing it, Nick?
I am. How was that cigar, John?
Hamstring don't like that. Phenomenal. So I'm coming next to you. You got the medium shirt on today?
Trying to be like you, dude.
All right, so for this next couple, you guys might have some issues. You got all those rocks right there. Just find your spot. You'll be laying down on the ground or at least getting close to the ground. I don't want you to be on those rocks, so just find you a spot. We're going to be on the ground for the next couple. Just sit down. One of my legs, my front leg, is going to be bending in front of me like this. The other one, you might have to adjust for this. If you can't lean in your hips when you do this, all right, just hold yourself up with your hand here, like that. So basically I got 290 degrees with my leg. Pretty simple. All right, now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna turn to that front leg side. We're gonna attempt to lean this elbow down in front of that knee. Yeah. I'll try to turn my body and look backwards, basically, and turn both my hands towards the rear of me. Keep holding. All right, just come back up. So this is not a static stretch. We'll make it a little bit dynamic. So, but you're not bouncing into it, right? Don't hurt yourself. Just do about 10 of them, right about this speed. Right here. So on your own, go ahead and do 10. It's supposed to hurt, right?
Important to be close to your knee.
Don't bounce your muscles.
Spread them out.
Try that other shot.
290 degrees.
I saw you were only halfway there. You go.
You might be able to
You got no meat anywhere.
Hey, once you get 10, I'm gonna switch sides. Take your time. If you've not done this before, I don't want you to just jump down here and pull something crazy. You never know, girl.
I'm getting sick from the freaking cigar smoke.
Gobbler.
Hey, once you guys complete that, this is a little dynamic too. It's a slower dynamic one, but it's not static. What you're gonna do is go down on your back. Just watch me before you get there, right? Both hands down. I'm taking one leg and I'm bringing it around as far as I can. I'm trying to kind of touch near where my hand is. I don't want to bring this other opposite hand off the ground like this, though, right? I'm gonna keep my shoulder blades as flat as I can. Here. Here.
What do you do at night?
Here. Right? And then here.
Eric's tampon string is hanging out of his shorts.
I did this for you. Alright, so we're gonna do
No way I'm gonna be able to do this.
do a total of 10. Make sure you got room with your buddies. Total of 10. So 5 on each side, alternate. So with your more space.
Do it easy. Yeah, right, which way are we going?
Which right?
I knew what you meant.
When it comes to the face. That's all good.
Oh, we are so good.
This is what we do at us.
Everybody okay with that? Hopefully open your eyes a little bit. Alright, this one's a little bit harder. All we're gonna do is just watch me before you go there. Going into this push-up position or frog position basically. And I'm just sitting through like this. See what I'm doing?
It's
called breakdancing.
Alright. They call it a sit-through in wrestling, a real man's sport. And
Put your tampon string back in your shorts, Eric.
but basically it helps you with the shoulder rotation. I'm kind of holding up my shoulder. It's not a lot of weight, but I'm bringing that leg through, turning my hips, working my lower spine. Feels real good. It's kind of hard. Don't go too crazy with it. You can feel free to sit down on the hip if you don't want to hold yourself up all the way through.
Work it, man.
All right, let's do 10 total.
A lot of out-of-breath whiskey drinkers.
Hey Nick, come here right quick. Just cause it feels weird to you, I'll just show you one application, real world application. I stand up. No. That's yesterday. So with Nick, just drape yourself over my back like you're laying on the table. Right? Now come back, legs to the front. I know it's natural for you to be behind. So this guy does this, be prepared to catch yourself with this hand because I'm going to get out from under you. So I'm here, watch. So if he was putting all his weight on me, which I don't want him to do because sometimes you smack your face right on the ground, that's how I get out from under him. You know, so it's a real world application. Anybody that's ever wrestled or grappled, it's common knowledge.
I like wrestling where I come from.
So let's keep this going. We'll get our blood flowing a little bit, not still not doing anything too crazy. These we didn't do yesterday. Once I gave you the karaoke, I was worried about you freaking out about how you feel. Usually you can line up and do this and do skips and open up your hips like this, right? We can skip and do that. We'll just do it in place. So it looks like this. And I'm not doing it so fast or I might injure myself. Check yourself out first, see if you can even do it, right? And then start speeding it up a little bit.
That's how you walk into a bar.
Nuts hanging. It's opening the hips up.
That's exactly what it is. It's a ball thing technique.
Opposite side hand to opposite side foot. Here, reset, step.
Don't kick your leg that
help out before you throw it up there.
Yeah, a couple
Stop
dudes
when I
yank their
stop.
hammies.
Is the gun doing this or extracurricular activities?
There's some there.
Someone really got to hold it.
This one right here, same opposite side hand and opposite side leg, except I'm just going to reach down to my leg instead of bringing my leg up to lead. So, next leg is coming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna move this.
Switch. Go ahead.
Well, no, I knew I was gonna kick it. Where it was at.
It should be part of a sobriety test.
How do you know it's not? This is one thing. Oh, we do. Duck walk.
I want to add something here, Z, when you're done with this one.
Okay.
A bunch of you dudes have super tight hips. You're just going to use him like he was a wall or a countertop. Like when you're brushing your teeth, just take one of your legs. So I'm brushing my teeth, I'm holding onto my sink, and swing one leg like this. Just do it while you're brushing your teeth. Then you can come behind yourself like that. I need a hand. Bring it out, up, and do both legs. You guys, your hips are also.
You want us to do this well brushing?
I don't know. I do it like while I'm brushing teeth.
That's impossible.
Plus that. Kind of maximizes.
For this next one, you're standing up, just hugging your knee to your chest. So when you bring it up, don't just go through the motions like, right? It's not, the point is not to bring your knee up. The point is to bring it, hug it to your chest, then switch. Hug it in. Keep going, stop when I stop. Sweating already.
Try to connect your breath to when you are tugging that in. Exhale as it squeezes into your guts. This whole end of the basketball court smells like whiskey. It's coming right out of your pores.
I had one glass.
Smells like whiskey, Drakkar, and
What we did yesterday, we're gonna bend over and do the other twist. Right? Do it only as dynamically as you can. We'll do 20 of them if you can count. 1, 2, 3.
if you're not super flexible, don't bounce yourself.
All right, similar to one we did yesterday as well. Do a lunge in place, lunge, turn the torso, lunge, turn the torso. Watch your knees on the ground. Towards that front leg is the way you're turning. Let's go back to this one. Let's slow it down again. So from the push-up position, similar, I don't know what they call it in yoga. Be right here. For this one, be mindful of your feet. If your feet are real close together, it's a little harder to do this. So I put mine about a foot apart. Turn up. Keeping this locked out my shoulder, above my wrist. Don't do anything crazy. You don't want to be too far here, right? I'm supported. Just coming up. Going back to the other side.
If you've got a bum wrist, you can do that on your elbow if it doesn't hurt you.
10 total.
Try to connect your breath again, exhaling when you get to that stretch point.
Doing dynamic self hugs, right here. Cross over the top of the left arm, then also go to the bottom. Back and forth. Tell yourself you love it. I love it. All right, let's transition right into arm circles forward. We'll go small, and then we'll get larger. Reverse it, smaller. You know, there is a slightly different dynamic when you do it small versus large. You know, it feels more muscular, get a little larger. With our rotation, so get your neck going clockwise. I hear all kinds of noise. Reverse it before you get too dizzy and fall over.
I need some WD-40 in mine.
Relax. Everybody's favorite, hips. Clockwise. All right, relax. We're gonna try a different knee rotation exercise. So get a spot again to get on your back. You can just sit up and then go to your back once I show you. So if you guys have never done this stuff before, again, good advice is to go slow. You know your body. I don't know what you're capable of. Go a little bit slower. I know what I can do. I stay a little more dynamic at my speed, right? So this is what we do in jiu-jitsu a lot. Really loosens up my knees, gets my hips moving a little bit too. It's called pummeling with your legs, right? So basically my legs are up like this, and I think of an egg beater. I'm just going inside, top to bottom, just like this, and then when we reverse it, I'll just go the opposite way. So let's see if we can do that. So going inside first, top to bottom. You might have to get your hips involved a little bit.
Got the Jimmy leg.
All right, go back the other way now. Opposite of what you were doing. So bend at your knees, let your knees be loose. If you're doing your legs, it's just your legs going. Look at Hickok.
Thank you for that.
Look, fight me.
Thank you for that.
Look at this guy right here. Look at Aaron. Aaron, show us that. Now Aaron's a pretty big guy. He's doing it right. It's good.
That's how he learned to walk.
Yeah.
Like baking a cake. Look at that. He's like, me too. I'm doing it. All right, since we're on the ground, let's go ahead and move on.
Starfish.
Well, we'll stay here on the ground. Go ahead and stretch out whatever you like to stretch out. I want to give you a chance if you feel something different when I hit. I tend to lean towards what is my usual routine. So stretch out whatever you want. Definitely the hip flexors up front. Make sure you get those. All right, for me, I got real loose hamstrings, real tight hip flexors. We're talking about that forward condition of my body. Everything's muscular forward. My back got neglected, so might want to do this a little bit. You'll see some people, they can do this and they can lay down. I would never even imagine that for myself. Steve just reminded me. Thank you, Steve. We usually do it once we do that hip rollover like we did. Arms out, I'm coming. I'm basically getting a tight stretch in my hip flexor right here. If you can, come all the way up to your hand, you can. I'm trying to stay flat here.
Thanks, Steve.
Let's do 10, 5 each side.
Do this one very slowly.
Yeah, Steve's gonna accidentally get shot in range.
It looks like to me to you.
Bending that leg, feeling it in the hip flexor. Bend. Let's attempt the no-handed get up, right? Just up to the knee part, right? Like we did yesterday. Some people were challenged by it a little bit, and I understand. Some people have different hip strength. All right, so I'm gonna review it a little bit. So I'm sitting on my butt, however I got here, bringing one leg in towards my body, and the other one just gonna bring it out of my way. Because it doesn't make sense for it to be here and me to be able to sit up on it, right? Unless I can just pop right up on this leg. Moving it out of my way, I can come up, and similar, if I didn't want this leg out to come all the way up and to turn into a lunge, All right, it's kind of similar to that position that we were in earlier, right? We call this the S mount in jiu-jitsu. It's like an S, kind of, or the double 90 degrees. So I'm just moving it out my way. If you could do this, I'm in that position again, just coming up. All right. If I wanted to come up to a lunge, that leg's just right there. Right here. Give myself a good base. So play with it a little bit. We'll do this one side. Do about 5 times coming up to this position right here, and then we'll switch sides, come up to the other position. You go to this mount, mess around with it if you want. Here, come up. Just to be clear, if I really do intend to get up, I'm not going to do the S mount thing, right? It's like waist to move it. Now I got to bring this leg all the way around. I just wanted you to feel it's kind of similar to that same position. A little bit easier here too. But this is how I would be if I was going to get up. That was my intention. All right. Get both sides. We're going to review the technical stand-up, or the stand-up with the hand support, and then I'm going to add a little something to it here in a minute. So the hand support or technical stand-up, however you want to look at it, remember opposite side hand, opposite side leg. Does it make sense, right? If I know why, when I'm learning things, if I tell myself why that is in my own head, kind of review that process, the reasoning behind it, it helps me to remember. Instead of just hearing somebody say something, do something, you're like, do it, because they said do it. All right, once you have teenagers or teenagers, you have to explain why all the damn time anyway. They won't just listen to you telling them to do things. It's like, okay, all right. So once we're here, remember a couple of key points. I'm on my butt, got the base, it's wide, it's not tight. All right, I've got a hand here to do whatever it needs to do. All right, I've got a foot here to do whatever it can do, whatever the situation calls for, and I can move around. Everybody remembers that, right? The other part is I can either come to that, bring that foot, the bottom of the foot to my hand, or back behind the hand if possible. So I got that wide base coming up, or I can just bring my knee back there, coming up in a lunge position. Everybody remember that? Remember, just putting your foot down is not good enough. Stop. Remember, we're not bringing it straight back. We're circling it through, we're threading the needle. Threading the needle. It's almost impossible. I mean, I can do it, I'll push my foot through to get here. Just bring it straight back. So go the path of least resistance. Make sense? All right, so let's do 5 each side. All right. Go to your foot at least once, but do whichever you prefer, the knee or the foot. So look like this. So maybe I'll go to my foot. All right. Then I go to my knee. Then I go to my knee again. Do that 5 times, then we'll switch sides. All right, so if we fail or got knocked down, if I'm in a life-threatening situation, I'm probably never going to choose to be in this position, right? I'm not going to be like, all right, let's come down here, you know, let's talk about it. I'll probably get up, getting put here, falling over something, stumbling. The speed of violence is very quick, and anytime somebody does something to you, you're reactionary or reactive. What's faster, reaction or action? Action. So they got the drop on you already, right? We got to catch up. So being reactive can cause you to be off balance and out, especially if they surprise you somehow, and you end up stumbling and falling. You end up on your back. I like jiu-jitsu, and if anybody knows what jiu-jitsu is, it's largely thought of as a ground game, right? But it doesn't mean you have to be on your back. Right? There's different ways to approach it. It's kind of like football. Some people focus on the skill portion. Some people focus on just the hitting portion, right? There's different skills. I know things off my back, but in a real life situation, if I can help it, I'm never going to be on my back. We talked about it yesterday, right? I said, you're not going to keep me down. I'm gonna have the option to continue to fight you or run or address another threat coming up as I'm handling this threat, right? Being on my back, it's hard to do that. You're more vulnerable. If I'm on my back fighting one guy and Talon's coming over here to kick me in the face because that's his buddy I'm wrestling with, so I decide that that's not a good fight for me. It's gonna be harder for me to get up and run away or jump up and fight him if I'm on my back. It's just harder. There's ways to do it, but you're at a disadvantage. All right, so, but you end up on your back sometimes. That's why we're teaching you to get back up. If I'm on my back here, say I have a gun, right? What's some things I need to consider?
Shooting while you're down.
Where the gun is.
Where the gun is, right? I got to get to it. So if I'm right-handed, which I am, and I go to this side to get up, there's a problem there, right? Because my left hand's available. I probably need to go to this side so I can get to my gun wherever it might be. Make sense? I could even get my gun out down here if I can get to it. I just roll my hips over, be mobile, allow myself to get access to that gun. And what I need to be aware of once I pull the gun out. The muzzle, right? In a life-threatening situation, I doubt you're going to think about where muzzling your legs at all. Who really gives a shit? As long as your trigger finger is doing what it's supposed to do or not supposed to do, all right? And you're not pulling the trigger while it's behind your legs. But in practice, hopefully we can build that good base where we do it subconsciously, like we talked a lot about yesterday, right? So if I pull out here, I'm already going to have it up, miss my legs, just like I'll be missing a person's head. Make sense? Two hands. Boom, boom. All right? Make sense? So what we're going to do is, wherever you usually carry your gun or would carry your gun and concealed, or for whatever job or reason that you're carrying a gun for, simulate with your little finger gun, getting your gun out from your back like I am right now. Just point at anything that might be standing in front of you. Go through the motion, miss your legs, don't muzzle your legs. Think about how you're going to get there. Visualize it. Your appendix is right between your legs already. Perfect. If I'm about to get up, how would I transition if I was going to get up with my hand here?
Just like you do. So one hand again? One hand.
Right.
Hand out with me.
I come up on that elbow if I couldn't get up on my arm right away. On one side. I'm here. Come through. And still go back to two hands here. Alright, I can come all the way up with two hands. And let's work it a little bit. Alright, so I'll call out what to do and you just execute it, right? So back on your back, put your gun away. Draw your gun. Not dead legs. Feet on the ground, right? Reason we're not dead legs like this, because I gotta be able, I can still kick here. I can still slide away, right? There's a lot of stuff I can do with my feet base, so don't go dead leg, meaning legs straight out flat. All right, so I'm here, I got my gun drawn. All right, now I'm gonna transition or transfer it just to the dominant hand and get up on my left or my opposite side. Negligent discharge. All right, got my gun up still. Come up to my knees. I come back to two hands. Back down with the gun. Safely put the gun away. All right, draw your gun. All right, I'm shooting on the left side of my leg, so miss the leg. Going in the middle, going on the right, back across to the middle, left, right, back to the middle. Now, I'm getting up on the right side for whatever reason because there's a wall I'm against or something. So I'm transferring over to my non-dominant hand, not right side, but your opposite side. Coming up to that opposite side, all right, still got the gun up. Come back to the knee. Okay, I got to transfer back over to my dominant hand, if that was the case. Now I got two hands and I can come all the way up. Make sense? Today, come on back down. putting a tourniquet on or something like that on your leg, where do you think you're gonna be? Sitting on your butt or on your back one, right? And you're gonna have to engage from that position. You have to mind your muzzle. All right, so the way to mind my muzzle around my legs is leg out the way, back in the middle, left leg out the way. Today I'm gonna be on my belly. I need to be on my belly. I can get, for me especially, if I decide that I want to stay on the ground and stay low for some reason, you're always gonna be probably more efficient in your movement and your ability to move from your belly, because we're not used to walking like this, right? You know what I mean? I'm not a crab, even though you can crab walk. I can be a lot more mobile like this or here, or I can build up to a base real fast, right? So for some reason I want to get to my belly. I've got my gun out. All I'm gonna do is kind of take that path of least resistance like we did getting up, right? That leg kind of loop through. Makes sense? So if I go and lift my hips a little bit with my base, lift my leg, watch this leg here. I just loop through. Not very hard, right? Kind of rotate it on my shoulder, because it's always going to be easy to rotate on a smaller axis point, right? Just a little ball. And it helped me move my hips back to this position. And now I can do whatever. I can go do a push-up position. I can have my gun in tight right here and just come up to my knees, using my elbows. I'll show you again. So I'm here. Got to lift my hips because I got to get them out of the way, and I got to give myself that small rotational point here. So watch my shoulder. Move this way a little bit. Hips up. I'm gonna thread the needle with this opposite side leg, or the side of the leg that of the side that I'm going to. Here, miss my leg. Make sense? Do it from this side. Here, going that way, move that leg out of the way. Hips up, underneath, on my shoulder, look at my shoulder. So if I'm on my side like this, it's a little harder to rotate. You'll be sliding and everything. So I've got less contact with the ground. Here. Think we can do it? All right. Let's go to our back. So step by step, don't get ahead of me. Even if you know it right now, let's go step by step with control. So I've got this active leg position. I've got my gun in between my legs. For this one, we're going to take our lean to our right side, bring your right leg down, and then bring the leg back up, just clearing my leg. Now I'm going to lift my hips off the ground, kind of up on my shoulder. Now, that near side leg, just swing it through. Slowly rotate to your belly. All right, if I wanted to get up without taking my hand off the gun, just bring your elbows in, mind my muzzle. Right on, we'll do this. I got it. Here, now just jump your knees up towards your elbow. Now I'm on my knees, and it should be pretty easy to get up from here, right? Relatively. Go back down, let's do it one more time before it rains all over. So I posted up, I got my gun out. I'm gonna rotate over to my left side, make sure I miss my leg, whether I move it out the way or I just move the gun over it. All right, I'm gonna lift my hip. Thread the needle with that leg. Now I'm on my belly. Bring my gun in. Elbows into my chest, knees to my elbows. I can come up.
You gotta point the same back. I don't know why you're showing them. I got your
All right, so we'll go around. Everybody's gonna do it one time on one side. Lay down. We're not running out of here yet. We'll see everybody do it one time. We'll put you on the spot. You know what? One person at a time, come up and do it for everybody. Come on, Steve. We'll start with Steve. We'll work around that way.
Once we're done, we need to go in, right?
Yep. Once you're done, you can go in.
That's my problem. I can't go in.
You okay, Steve?
Bouncing around like a spider monkey.
Yep, talent.
I don't bend like that.
I want to see you.
All right, we'll go to talents.
Come on, man.
Think through the process so you don't get the steps wrong, right? Don't shoot your leg. Don't shoot your leg. Come back. One step at a time. So lean over to the one side. You can keep the leg up, just miss your leg with the gun. So you put your leg back up once you miss it with your gun. But lean over to one side still. You can lean over with your leg up.
Oh, okay.
Right there. All right. Lift your hips. Shoot that leg through.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
There. Nice. Now, gun in, knees to elbows. Good to go. Come on. Rotate to that one side.
Come on, Dave.
Now, wait. Lift your hips up. Rotate to the side. Keep, no. Rotate to the side. Bring this in. Lift your hips. Now your shoulder is the rotational point. All right. Doesn't have to be that way, but it makes it a little more smooth and you don't have all the friction dragging on you. If you got kid on you or you're wearing a gun belt or something like that, like a cop, you're gonna have to lift those hips and get them out the way or you're gonna be dragging everything and it's gonna look like a yard sale after you're done doing this. Wait, post back up again. So the only reason I'm straightening that leg out once I rotate over is just to mind my muzzle. So I can just still bring it over. Now lift hips up. Now through. Yeah, almost no drag sound there, right? You didn't hear no. Good job. It's the mustache that helps me.
Out.
This guy's gonna do it perfect.
Slap hands, Neo. Slap hands. Very important.
Gun out. Shoot me.
Dusty, say pew pew. 5, 6. Dusty, say pew pew. Stay off me, I'm gonna shoot you, man. You better get out of here. We're looking on you. I will shoot the shit out of you.
There we go.
Embarrass the Army here.
Or do this. This is the hard way.
Oh, that's how the Army does it.
You're right. Hey, so the reason you might be more athletic, be able to do certain movements, but it's going to be hard to do that deliberately while maintaining a focus on whatever threat that you just encountered, right? Because the whole point is doing this, you have a gun in your hand, you're not just doing it for exercise all the time. All right, so once I get here, I'm on my belly, and fucking Drew, who definitely looks like a threat to me, is right there. And I start doing this, like, you know, that's not good. So I'm watching him. Got him still. I'm moving up. And now I'm tackling him with his Nazi boot.
Those are fresh from Kim Daniel's closet.
That's Kim K. That's Kim K's, bro.
Skills that pay the bills.
Nice.
Just as mobile last night.
Here's how you really do it.
I don't remember.
I'll get you many beers. Do it.
Come on now.
Look at that. No friction sound at all.
That ass though.
Look at that. You even did the one-handed, which is an option. Just like getting up without your hand on the from your butt, all right? The technical stand-up. We can transfer to one hand to do that. If you want to do the old push-up stand-up, you can transfer to one hand. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. All right? You don't have to bring the knees in. I'm just showing you the hardest way.
Oh, yeah.
I really abide by the principle, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. It's in the Bible.
Oh, finger on the trigger, you shot your ass.
How did it make what made noise? The gun?
That one's got a setting with your fingers on the trigger.
Lay down real quick. All right. So if I'm coming and I'm trying to do harm to you, Steve, you got to get up in a way that you can embrace the impact or have a good base to get away, whatever the case may be.
Not like glass.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run from this side over here. I think Steve can do it. That's why we're doing this. I'm gonna say threat. I'm gonna start running. Okay. Be up. Embrace the impact before I get in. Threat. Yeah, finish it! Yeah!
Egg beat him to death.
So what happened? I got there. He didn't have time to really run, but he absorbed any impact that was coming. And he ankle picked.
Should have got him.
That was dirty.
Who's that?
Questions on that? Feel all right with it? I know your knees might be a little rough and stuff. Look at mine. I got them ashy knees. Hopefully you got something out of it, mobility, right? Yeah. So we got a plan. What did Carl say yesterday about a plan?
A bad plan, no plan.
Right? So now, whether it's bad or good, whatever you consider it, everything that you put in your mind as far as a technique or a way to accomplish something, it's kind of like a plan. So now my body and my mind can see there's a way to get to your belly quick. I have a little bit of mobility. You might not be perfect at it, but you kind of know what direction you should probably go in that situation where you have to go to your belly or move around a little bit. Make sense? So you got something in your head. You visualize it at least. And if your body, well, what's the saying they say about visualization? If your mind has seen it, it's easier for your body to go there and do that, right? The opposite is different. Like my body really can't do anything unless my mind has kind of visualized it and seen it. So you've seen it enough now, you know what to do. Practice when you go tie your shoes or whatever the case is. I sit down and put my socks on. When you get up, just try to do it in a functional, reasonable, useful way, all right? Instead of just doing this. It's probably hard on your body anyway. You're like, ugh. Somebody hooks you up. Just be your own base. You can come here and just come up. Make sense? Questions? All right, so we'll start out the same groups yesterday. As far as stations, right? So we had, who we had first? Gobblers?
Gobblers.